Dear friends, today we are discussing a very important theme, that is educational objectives. It has been experienced that many teachers in technical institutions do not understand the importance of educational objectives. Even we came to know the importance of this when we used to survey the industries and obtain their feedback about the teaching learning process in the technical institutions. Many times an industrial person will make a comment that your student do not possess appropriate attitudes. Somebody will say they do not understand the dignity of labor. Another person will say that they are deficient in skills, and so forth. So we were not able to make head and tail of what they are talking about. Ultimately, we ourselves studied educational objectives. We found that whatever feedback the industry is giving us regarding our students, it falls into educational objectives by and large. So therefore, it is very important for all of you who are young teachers to understand the importance of educational objectives. Educational objectives have number of main topics. One of these topics is occupational / vocational preparation. Now, under this there are number of subheads which include that the students must be trained for reading and interpreting drawings. Number 2 is knowledge of national and international standards. The students must be made aware of national and international standards. Another point is knowledge of materials, processes and quality control operations. Industry want that the students should be prepared, should be taught knowledge of materials, processes and quality control operations. Next point is estimating and costing skills. The students must be given relevant learning experiences to develop estimating and costing skills. The next is diagnostic skills. Students should be trained to find out faults in the equipment or in the processes. Another important aspect is management and marketing skills. Industry want that the students should be trained in management and marketing skills. And finally, computer handling skills. So these are the broad competencies under occupational preparation under this subheading. These are the broad competencies which industry want that students should possess. I think it is important for all of us to understand that all these competencies need to be developed in the students. Whatever subject we are teaching, we must keep in mind that what is my role in developing these competencies. Next point comes what industry is very particular about is development of learning to learn / problem solving skills. Development of learning to learn skills and problem solving skills is very important so far as technical education is concerned. This means an effort should be made by the teachers so that students are made self learners. They are able to refer the library and they are able to solve simple problems of the world of work. Now, for this purpose what industry want is independent study skills. students should be given tasks that the student should be able to refer the library and find out the solution to that task. That is independent study skills. Given a home assignment, students should be able to find out answer to the problems posed, or given a tutorial sheet, students should be able to find out an answer to that. So, they should be able to carry out their studies independently by referring books, by referring library, etc. Second area in this is information storage and retrieval. Information storage and retrieval. It means relevant experiences again need to be given to the students, so that they are able to store information which is required by them day by day. That the information can be stored on the computer or in the diaries, but this training of information storage and retrieval, where that information is, need to be given to the students. Next item is analytical and problem solving skills. This means students should be given assignments or project work or tutorial experiences, whereby they are asked to solve some problems, industrial problems, live problems of industry, so that they are able to develop intellectually. So, this ability is very important, which is not being again given the due importance in our teaching learning processes. I think you agree with me.
Yes, sir.
Now, what has been said, vocational or professional preparation and problem solving skills, these two, item 1 and 2, should be given 75% of the curriculum time. 75% of the curriculum time should be developed in imparting appropriate knowledge, skills and attitudes in the students, plus development of learning to learn skills and problem solving skills. 75% of the total teaching time should be devoted towards these two important activities. The third activity is, again, which is a weak point of our teaching learning process so far as technical education is concerned, is the development of communication and interpersonal skills. Development of communication and interpersonal skills. Our students are basically weak in communication. It has been experienced. By and large, majority of the students do not possess appropriate communication skills. They are not able to write good applications, they are not able to face interviews, they are not able to introduce themselves. So, they are basically very weak in that. It is not the fault of students, it is the fault of the system, that the system does not pay much attention towards this. So, therefore, development of communication and interpersonal skills is recognized as one of the very important area by the world of work. So, it means, yes please.
Sir, communication, sir, it doesn't mean that you can only speak in English, sir. This means that you can express your any idea or anything, sir, which you are supposed to give.
Yes, it's not a question of English language, it is a question of clearly stating what you want to say in verbal, in writing, in gestures, telephone etiquettes, facing an interview. All this is the areas of communication skills.
Sir, this required, sir, some personal background, sir. So, sir, this could be only could be given by schools, sir.
Well, schools have their own objectives.
Sir, but how can we?
The schools, I say schools have their own objectives. Technical institutions have their own objectives. Now, I am not at the moment here teaching you how to develop communication skills. What I want to emphasize, that the industry is very particular, that the technical students at degree and diploma levels must be very good at communication. So, therefore, they must be given exercises, written and verbal communication skills. They must be given experiences or exercises on developing written and verbal communication skills. They must be trained in this. Second item under this is report writing skills. They must be given experiences of writing technical reports, varied kind of technical reports. Then they must be trained in listening skills. Listening skill is also communication skill. How to listen and take down the notes which the person is saying, and then you are able to express what the person has said. Listening skill is also very important. For managers it is very important that the manager listen people. The problem is that we don't listen our workers. Actually the problem is nothing. People want to say something. Only thing is that people do not listen them. If we listen our workers, many of the problem is nothing. It comes out very simple thing out of it. But we must listen our workers. So for that training is required. So friends, I would also like to say in this syndrome here that facing an interview, people should be trained through mock interviews how to face an interview, talking on telephone, what are the etiquettes of using a telephone, all this covers under communication skills. Our interpersonal skills is an area whereby we train people how to behave, how to interact with one another, how to deal with one another. Because world of work does not function individually, it functions in teams. So therefore we have to train students in working in a team. How we can do that? Through games, through social service camps, and various means by which more than 2 students they work in a team and they come out successfully. So these areas are not given the importance as these require. A technology teacher says, why should I teach communication skills? Well, he should try to understand that these are very important aspects, and while he is teaching, efforts should be made that students are called on the board or through various methods, that demonstrations and discussions, that the students do not have a fear of communicating with the teacher, with one another, and they are able to develop better interpersonal relations. This is very important from industrial point of view. Now another point which has been stressed by the industry under communication and interpersonal skills is as I said to you, training the persons how to deal with one another or working in a team. The next point is dealing with seniors, peers and juniors. How one has to conduct with the seniors, how one has to conduct with the colleagues and with the juniors. Sometimes a person whom we call junior may be very experienced person. So a person must be trained how to talk, how to communicate, how to deal with people. Now if we don't deal with people, if we don't deal in the world of work properly, you are not an effective manager. Then group dynamics, how students must be trained how they should behave in a group. Sometimes talking unprofessional language can lead to lot of problems. An example, suppose you can say to the persons, all of us are required to work hard, no problem, but you cannot say to a particular category of people that you are all kamchor. Tum kaam karna nahi chahte. This is a wrong statement. So there will be then problems in the world of work. People must be trained what kind of language they must use when they are in groups. Then students must be trained in motivational skills, how to motivate people. It is always not necessary that people should be given monetary awards. Sometimes asking a person, giving a pat at the back and asking him, what is the problem, today you are not feeling well, what is the matter, can I help you, it is also a motivating factor. It depends upon, there are several techniques by which students must be trained to motivate people for working. It is a subject by itself, but at the same time its importance should not be lost sight of. Then after the three major areas of occupational or vocational preparation or preparing student for learning to learn and problem solving. Then third I told you communication skills and interpersonal skills. The fourth area is the personality aspects. There are certain aspects which you should not you should know and try to develop through curricular and co-curricular activities. Everything may not be possible in the classroom situation. There are something which will be done in the classroom, there will be something which will be done in a co-curricular activities. So, personality aspects is another very important item which the industry want to stress upon, is stressing very hard on it. Number one is the physique, health of the students. Hardly any care is being taken by the technical institutions about the physique of students. Physique depend upon primarily two factors. Number one, what kind of diet the students take and what kind of exercise the students undergo. So, one has to see that the students are told about type of diets to be taken through extension lectures, calling a doctor once in a semester, he can set it all right and students will start taking proper diet. Then importance of exercises, importance of yoga, importance of walking and playing, all this contribute towards a good health of the students. So, it is not only necessary that students should only obtain 95% marks in their academics, but they must be, it must be taken into consideration that their physique health must be taken into consideration. Another important item of personality, punctuality and discipline. Punctuality and discipline. Now, how punctuality can come, how discipline can come when teachers themselves are late, when the head of the institution himself come late. Punctuality and discipline can never come from sky. Now, these have to be demonstrated by all of you to come to be punctual first and then see that the punctuality comes up. If we have to play role model. If we ourselves late, can we expect the student to be in time? Never. Students will never be in time. First the teachers have to be in time. For the head of the institution should be in time. Then the head of the department should be in time. Then they must see that teachers come in time, and at time punctuality and regularity and discipline, it can be inherited by the teachers community. Another important aspect is positive attitude, development of positive attitude, right thinking. Positive attitude is nothing but right thinking. Always in our community there is a problem, sir, this cannot be done. You give them and tell them anything, this is not possible. So, this is called negative attitude. Positive attitude means, sir, within these resources I can do this much, or sir, give me industrial training, I can show that these things I can do it, or please give me training on AutoCAD, I can show you that I can prepare drawing on AutoCAD. This is called positive attitude. You train me, I need training for this purpose. This is positive attitude. The next is commitment. Whatever time has been given to you and whatever task has been given to you, the student must be able to do it. Student need to be trained in commitment aspects. If otherwise, what will happen is no commitment, nothing will happen. Industry is very particular about these things. Then dignity of labor. Sometimes, at least 2 to 3 times in a semester, students should be given experiences of picking the pickaxe or any kind of instruments for doing some labor, correct, I mean making the lawns good, correcting the flower beds, making their playgrounds nice, this all, and cleaning the classrooms even. So, this all inculcate dignity of labor, but this can never come, my dear friends, until the teachers take the lead. Teachers will have to start first, then students will start. It is like this, when you go to a war, if the commander says you go ahead and face the bullet, I will come up behind you, nobody will do that. So, it is the commander first who has to take the lead, and then there everybody follows together. So, it cannot be the reverse process. Now, there are a couple of more points in the personality development. sense of responsibility. Whatever work is given to the students, they are responsive, they don't spoil it. If they are not able to do certain thing, ask them, please don't try unnecessarily, do up to that extent to which you are able to handle, so that responsibility will come in them. Otherwise somebody will take a costly equipment and they will throw it on the road, and the loss will be of the college and the students as well. So they need to be trained, they should have sense of responsibility, self confidence, development of self confidence. Self confidence will only come if they have skills. If they don't have skills, self confidence cannot be developed. They must be able to do something with their own hands, and manual and machining, with the machining processes. They must be able to do something. When they are able to do something or solve a problem, if they are able to solve problem, the confidence will develop. For confidence development, skill development is very essential. Problem solving abilities development is very essential. Communication skills are very important to develop communication skills. Theoretical aspect alone will not be able to develop the desired communication skills, though theoretical aspects has their own place. Next is concern for wastage. Students should be trained for concern for wastage. Here nobody is concerned for wastage. Water keep on flowing, nobody closes the tap. Electricity keep on burning, nobody closes the electricity. In Punjabi we say menu ki. Menu ki. So this menu ki concept is very dangerous. We are already very poor country, and we have to see, and we have scarce resources. Electricity, water, telephones and all these things, paper cost, petrol, all these things are very expensive commodities, and we must draw attention to our students. Sometimes we purposely throw paper here and there, and to train students whether they lift these papers or not. Sometimes we purposely open the tap and go away from the scene, and to see whether somebody students closes the taps or not. So these kind of experiences are very important, which need to be given to the students. Honesty, lot of corruption is going on in our country, and for corrupt practices, small corrupt practices, we are creating dishonest nation. It is very important that the students need to be trained in this, and I must tell you with my personal experience that once you commit a mistake, it keep on hunting you from within. If somebody has given you some money, and which is in your pocket, which is not your hard earned money, it keep on eating you. So if you do some other social mistakes, it keep on hunting you. To be happy and free mind, you must inculcate the honesty aspect into the minds of students. It is very, very important from the world of work point of view. Coping with stress, students need to be trained how they should cope with stress, so that in the world of work there is a variety of stress and strain which will come on the students. But if you will train them how to cope with the stress, and coping with the stress is basically nothing but prioritizing the activities. Prioritize what is the topmost important, which is next important, which is next important. So you do the topmost important thing, then next thing and next thing, your stress will be released. You open either mental files or your physical files, you open these files and then you prioritize the work, this stress will be released. The student need to be given these experiences. Then little bit of the patriotism. We are a nation, young boys and girls keep on sleeping even on 15th January and 26th of August. 26th of January, 15th of August and 26th of January, people are sleeping. At least on 2 days, which are our national days, people must go where the flag is being hoisted and must participate in the national event. People are completely ignorant, they are not caring about the patriotism aspect, and we must inculcate this in our students through various means. Again, it is a subject by itself, but this is missing day by day. Patriotism. Well friends, I thought that I may share these very important aspects with you, and I shared 4 things with you. One is, first was vocational preparation or professional preparation. It means imparting right, desired and appropriate type of knowledge, skills and attitudes in the students. Second was development of communication, development of learning to learn and problem solving skills in the students. The third was communication and interpersonal skills, and finally, it was personality aspects. All of us, in whatever way we are, through curricular activities and co-curricular activities, must keep these educational objectives in view for preparing a person who is prepared in totality. And once we take care of this, we are preparing a person to face the world of work in a much better way as otherwise happening today. Thank you very much.